sensing a storm is coming. They're calling me out to play. Got a feeling I'm gonna win, and they think that I don't have game. I know before I've had a few falls, I've got dirt all on my face. Baby, today I'm gonna win, and you're gonna remember my name. You're gonna remember my name. Gonna remember my name. I've got a feeling. You're gonna remember my name.
Hello, and welcome to Soup Scoop. I'm your host and superintendent of the Mount Vernon City School District, Dr. Kenneth Hamilton. This episode is devoted to my reflections on my first year as the superintendent in Mount Vernon. And I have to say that I have never had a job that I've enjoyed more. I have been received overwhelmingly by the community. The students are exceptional, and we are seeing great strides in the work underway. And I have to give thanks to the Board of Trustees, who have been nothing but supportive and have really partnered with me in order to create a new vision for the future of Mount Vernon. And my new administrative team, which includes Mr. Silva, our Assistant Superintendent in Business, Dr. Jeff Gorman, our Deputy Superintendent, Mrs. Denise Gagny-Kapusky, and we have a few new members joining our team, Dr. Waverly Bennett Conroy, Dr. Jackie Campbell Manning, our new legal counsel who's joined our staff, Mr. Cliff Christoph, and we've just had an amazing year and some great things that we've accomplished. I also want to take an opportunity to thank the community for supporting our 2015-2016 school budget. The budget was passed overwhelmingly by our community, the first time in many, many years that the budget has been supported by our community in the manner in which it has been in this past election. And we've got some new exciting endeavors, initiatives that we are putting forward as a result of this new budget. For one, we will be getting our high school swimming pool open. That will create incredible opportunities for children, not just within our schools and in our community, but making the facility available to other swim teams as well, creating another revenue source for our community to offset the cost of operating the swim program. This new budget will give us an opportunity to bring back our career and technology programs, where children will have an opportunity to develop their trade, whether or not they choose to go into college or right into the workforce. This career and technology expansion will create new pathways for our children to be successful. That includes cosmetology and graphic designs and just a host of other programs and initiatives in the culinary arts and the performing arts that will give our youngsters an opportunity to really leave school and have the opportunity to earn a decent income. We will be having guidance counselors in every one of our schools. This is a much needed service that we know our children need. We know that our community needs it. We'll be bringing back full-time nurses in all of our buildings and launching a family and community engagement initiative. One of the key ingredients to school districts that have turned around is focused on being able to engage our community. And that's a piece that's been missing in Mount Vernon. So this new budget season will give us the opportunity to fund a family and community initiative, and we're excited about that. And I have to take a moment to give special thanks to our outgoing trustees, Mr. Elias Gusite and Mrs. Brenda Crump. These two trustees, in combination with the other members of the board, have made an incredible contribution to the work that we've been able to do this year. And I have to welcome our new trustees, Mrs. Wanda White, Makai McOwen, and Mr. Leslie Zamore. Well, I'm looking forward to working with you and furthering the work that we've already been engaged in. And I have to say, under the current Board of Trustees, so much work has been accomplished. The renaming of Longfellow Elementary and Middle Schools, for example, was an initiative led by Mr. Elias Gusite. The schools will be named the Rebecca Turner and Benjamin Turner schools. That was a huge initiative that was created by the vision of Mr. Gusite. Mrs. Brenda Crump, who spearheaded a huge campaign to support the construction of a new basketball court at Parker School, not just for the Parker School, but for the entire community, just to name a couple of things. So I also have to acknowledge Mrs. Frances Wynn, who retired from the board recently. Thank her for her contribution and her voice as she continues, even though she's not on the Board of Trustees, she continues to weigh in on important issues, and we thank you for your service. In our next episode, we're going to talk a little more about the future of Mount Vernon. But when we come back after this break, we're going to recap some exciting initiatives and accomplishments from the 2014-2015 school year as my first year as superintendent. We'll be right back.
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm going to get my law degree. Then I'm going to come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's going to happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back. In recapping our 2014-2015, what are some of the things that we're most proud of? Well, we are launching a gifted and talented program. We are finding that we have an influx of children who have gifts and talents that we have overlooked. So all youngsters in K through 3 have been tested to see if they have a level of giftedness that would require us to think differently about the delivery of instructional services for these youngsters. So we'll be launching a gifted and talented program, and that's already underway. We had an extraordinary production of The Wiz. We are really working to re-engage our students in fine and performing arts. And if you missed The Wiz, you missed an incredible performance here at our high school. And we're looking forward to many more performances. We're bringing back a magnet school. Our 6th graders will have the opportunity to audition for a performing arts magnet school that we plan to expand over the next few years. We're starting in grade 6, and we've already identified a cadre of youngsters with some exceptional talents that will be a part of this initiative. We've expanded community partnerships. Lincoln Tech, for instance, is a part of what we are doing with our career and technology programs. Pearson is a fabulous publishing and research company who have worked with us to generate some data that helps us plan for instructional programs for our children. Our credit rating has been increased, making us a more viable corporate partner for many of our community organizations. We're expanding our pre-K program and offering some full-time seats to youngsters so that we can get them in our schools early, identifying learning needs and expounding on their learning potential. We are also looking to further our community engagement through programs like Soup Scoop and quarterly newsletters that we mail to every citizen within our community. We've made some extraordinary strides with our facilities and refurbishing some of our facilities that have been ignored for years. We will have air conditioning installed in A.B. Davis, for instance, in the auditorium. The scaffolding has been removed. We've done some extraordinary repairs, restructured the central office, and moved tons and tons of paper out of the building and moved to a paperless system and reduced our paper consumption. We are anticipating our graduation rates will be significantly increased. We're expecting our literacy scores to be updated. And when I come back to you in the fall and we talk about our State of the District address, we'll be talking very specifically about our student achievement data and what we've been able to accomplish. And we've done a reorganization in central office to increase accountability and oversight and monitoring of the programs and initiatives that we devoted so much time and attention to. And this is where the rubber meets the road, where we raise expectations and monitor what we're doing for the sake of our community. So those are just a few of the things that we've been able to accomplish this year. In our next segment, I'm going to spend a few minutes with the high school principal, Mr. Ron Gonzalez, here from Mount Vernon High School, and share some extraordinary statistics about his accomplishments in this building this year. We'll be right back.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day, more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. Learn more at hsf.net.
Welcome back to Soup Scoop. And joining me now is the principal of Mount Vernon High School, Mr. Ron Gonzalez, soon to be Dr. Ronald Gonzalez. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Hamilton.
So as you reflect on this school year, what's been your greatest accomplishment as the principal?
The greatest accomplishment has most certainly been seeing an increase in academic achievement in our students. We have done a very good job of tracking our high school seniors for this year and this year's graduating cohort, and it promises to be a very, very good graduation rate this year. I think that would be number one. 1A, a very close second to that, would be the change in culture, just overall culture in the staff. Morale has increased. People feel a little bit more stable and secure in the direction that we're taking Mount Vernon High School. And that's very important because that has a direct impact on the students' academic achievement.
So this high school is really the crown jewel of the district. When people think of a school district, they think about the high school, this being the comprehensive high school, not to minimize the role that the other schools play, but certainly the high school is the crown jewel. Where do you see the future of Mount Vernon High School under your leadership?
Wow. So first of all, I most certainly agree that it's the crown jewel. I can't go almost anywhere, literally even on vacation, and not have a Mount Vernon shirt and someone recognize Mount Vernon High School as Mount Vernon, New York. I was actually, fun fact, spent 2 weeks down in Virginia, and there's a Mount Vernon in Virginia on the border of Fairfax County. And I had my Mount Vernon High School shirt on, and someone knew immediately that it was Mount Vernon, New York, not Mount Vernon, Virginia. So it's widely recognized. And so because of that, I think it's important to continue to reflect on the graduates, the alumni that we have, and the wonderful things that they have done, and also look at the potential of our current students. So when we have students this year, for example, our valedictorian who is attending Manhattan College School of Engineering, our salutatorian who now will have free tuition at Fordham University, thanks to both her financial aid package as well as the generosity of some of the benefactors that donate funds to Mount Vernon High School for our students. That's where the promise lies. The promise lies in continuing to see what our students are absolutely capable of and having them feel good about their accomplishments.
And I do sense a greater sense of pride. You know, even in my communication and contact with students, there's a sense of pride that they seem to express more than they did when I first arrived in the district. I've noticed that myself.
Yeah, that's been in the works. When I've been here 4.5 years, and when I took over, that was one thing that was very clear to me, was that there was a sense of pride throughout the community. Even folks that didn't have so many nice things to say, they had things to say, and so now it's turning around where they feel a lot more comfortable sharing, whether it's something that they're proud of or something that they wish were different, in a way that is supportive to students and continues to recognize what they're able and capable of.
That kind of synergy is really contagious, and we have to figure out how to continue to replicate that. So you hit on something that I want to spend a few minutes on. So what's exciting about my first year and yours is that we have a commonality in a sense that you're the first principal that I've been able to recommend for tenure under my administration. What's that been like for you?
So, it's been an emotional roller coaster for sure. I say consistently, and I even said Monday night to my seniors at the Senior Awards Convocation, that being a high school principal is a job you either love or you don't do. So for 4.5 years here, there's been a lot of inconsistency in certain things. But having you come on board and visit us was really important to us. Spending the time that you would spend in the high school, walking the halls and having conversations with me and staff and students was really important. And so when the board did approve your recommendation for tenure, I was first of all very humbled. Knowing that there hadn't been a tenured principal at Mount Vernon High School for quite some time. I actually did the research the following day and found out that there hadn't been a tenured principal in this building since the year 2000, when Dr. Brenda Smith was the high school principal here. She went on to become deputy superintendent and then eventually superintendent of schools. Oddly enough, she was in the building the next day. And she was working with some of our students that participate in Model UN, and I was able to share with her that I had received the vote for tenure, which will begin on July 1st. The other big thing was I got to see how important that was to other folks. One of the things that I've always said is that I would stand on the record of my work. here at the high school. And you know, the staff understanding, my understanding of their feeling about me being granted tenure was very important because I could see that they felt a sense of stability and they felt a sense of calm. And that goes for, you know, all staff and even the students, the outpouring of support that I think some of the students didn't even know what tenure was, but congratulating me for receiving tenure was certainly very touching to me, because ultimately that's, as an educator, you know that it's about impacting the lives of children in a positive way. And I could see that that has certainly played an impact on them.
And I think what's really the undercurrent to all of that is continuity, stability, and consistency. And that is what this community needs, continuity, consistency, and stability. I have tremendous confidence in your capacity to turn this building around and to really make it the crown jewel it is designed to be. And I will always be at your beck and call for whatever support I can offer. And I'm convinced that this school is in very good and capable hands. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Hamilton.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
And we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be talking to Dr. Gail White-Wallace and our reading challenge. If you missed the reading challenge culminating activity, you missed an incredible event. And we'll talk more about that and what will happen next year when we extend the challenge to even more students. We'll be right back.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
I'm so excited about this reading challenge. It was an amazing event. I really have to thank Dr. Gail White-Wallace and Mr. Altariq Winstead for their help with pulling that event off. Well, in this final episode for the school year, I want to talk a little bit about the future of Mount Vernon, where we're headed and what we plan to do. One of the things that we really have to begin to concentrate on is expanding our K-8 reconfiguration throughout the district. So over the summer, we'll be doing a special episode devoted exclusively to K-8 configuration, where we are, where we're going, and how it's working. And then we'll begin to talk about how we plan to get our buildings back in tip-top shape. And will that mean a bond referendum for the community? What will our schools look like 5, 10 years from now? What are the demographic studies going to tell us in terms of student enrollment and population? What impact does that have on staffing and all the things that go along with a growing community? We're seeing a resurgence of children who are returning to our district. Children who were looking for options that they couldn't find in Mount Vernon before are now finding those options in our city, and we're looking forward to that. We'll talk more about where we are academically and what changes we can expect in our curriculum, what changes we can expect in district leadership, and where we're going, and how will we prepare our children for the future. This is a great time to be in Mount Vernon. We are on the cusp of really turning this district around. And I have to thank the community for their support, their extraordinary engagement, and I'm looking forward to furthering those partnerships and making this place the place it is destined to be. So we'll see you next time on Soup Scoop. Stay tuned for future episodes. We will be recording over the summer on an abbreviated schedule, so please be sure to tune in to Soup Scoop to see what's going on in our district and in our community. And I'll see you then. Be safe, and remember, read, read, read. It is the foundation upon which all learning takes place. Thanks so much for an extraordinary school year.